Hello, my name is Gabe Zollner. I read an interesting article on Western Center Journalism. It was written by a George, I believe, Spelvin, S-P-E-L-V-I-N. And what the article was titled was, Benghazi Attack Was Failed Kidnapping to Trade the Blind Sheik. Now, if some of us out there don't know who the Blind Sheik is, or the story behind the Blind Sheik, he was instrumental. He was found guilty in the initial bombing of the World Trade Center. And his punishment was life in prison. And he's in an American prison. Now, if you remember, when Mohamed Morsi was inaugurated as president of Egypt, he said two things that I thought were rather profound. The first thing that he said was that he intends to make Jerusalem the capital of Egypt. And he also said that he intends to free the Blind Sheik. Now, we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. First of all, the place that Ambassador Stevens went to, the security was reduced dramatically, I think, a week prior to his arrival. And they had dinner. He apparently had dinner with someone of high-ranking status from Turkey, and I think they were probably discussing another transfer of weapons into Syria. In either case, 2 hours later, after the gentleman from Turkey left, 2 hours later, there was an attack on the ambassador. And what ended up happening was within, I think, a distance of a mile, there was a CIA safe house. And in that safe house, there were two individuals. There was Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. They were both ex-Navy SEALs. They had heard the request for help coming from the ambassador, and they had asked to be able to provide that help, and they were told to stand down on 3 separate occasions. They were told not to intervene. They were told to let whatever happened, happen. Well, being ex-Navy SEALs, they couldn't allow that to take place, so what they did, they intervened. And they intervened in a gun battle that lasted 7 full hours. And during that gun battle, a lot of the Muslims, the extremists, were also killed, but they ended up giving up their lives as well. During that 7 hours, again, they requested help on numerous occasions. As a matter of fact, either Doherty or Woods had a laser designator on one of the mortar outlets, and he was anticipating help from up above, but that help never came. Now, what's also interesting is there's only one person that can order a military action in another sovereign nation, and that's Obama. And there's also only one person that can deny assistance to military assistance, and that again is Obama. Now, we also know that Obama watched the thing unfold real time. Both himself, he had Biden with him, and he had the Secretary of Defense, Panetta, with him. We also know that nothing was provided to provide assistance, and the 3 Americans, including the ambassador being the 4th, were slaughtered. Now, we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions. Is it possible that a deal was made? Is it possible that the Muslim Brotherhood expected to have little kind of difficulty in going over and actually kidnapping the ambassador? And that would have probably taken place if it wasn't for Doherty and for Woods, who were ordered to stand down, yet they didn't. In other words, they were the ink in the ointment. And Obama was between a rock and a hard place. If he provided military assistance and the Muslim extremists were slaughtered, and if he is in fact involved in the initial plot, I don't think that would do him a lot of good with his Muslim Brotherhood friends. So the easiest thing for them to do is what they did. They tried to cover it up. They tried to blame everything that took place on a video trailer that was against the Muslims. It was anti-Muhammad, against the Prophet. Now, we have to ask ourselves, does this make any sense that they would try to hide it the way they did? Well, they didn't have much of an option. They even went to the extreme by spending $70,000 on ads in I guess, Iraq or Iran or wherever it was to say that they had nothing to do with any of the events that unfolded. And Obama himself, at the United Nations, he said it 6 separate times that it had nothing to do with anything other than the video. Well, we all know they're lying. We all know that he knew. And we all know that there's only one person that can tell the military to enter into a sovereign nation, and that one person is Obama. And he did nothing. So, do the pieces of the puzzle fit? I sure think so. How about you?